Told you! I said it! I was right! I did it. More of this now. Roll the footage. Welcome, Hiders, to Hideout News. I'm your host, Davey Schmacklepush, and today we're going to talk about Nintendo. I was right. I told you. In the next 20 years, there was going to be a Sunshine port, and and here we are. Literally, what, 2 weeks? It's been like 2 weeks? I was right in two. That's pretty impressive. So, for those of you who are hiding under a rock, you know who you are. Random name insert here. Yeah, that's right. I called you out. For those of you who have been hiding under a rock, Nintendo just released a 35th anniversary for Mario, which is super cool, and I'm super excited actually. There's a lot of ups and downs with this story, so bear with me. So they're adding a lot of stuff. They have this new like battle royale mode with like the original game. They have like a new 3D World remake that was like a Wii U exclusive that's now on Switch, and they've been doing that a lot. We're going to get used to that. Wii U didn't sell well. We have to be okay with that. I know. I was also someone who had a Wii U, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm a simp for Nintendo, and I know who I am. Nintendo, out of all of this, released something called Super Mario All-Stars, like the 3D Super Mario All-Stars, very specific title. And on this are 3 games, which have been ported from various past systems, which have been Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, which is obviously what we're all excited about, right? And then like Super Mario Galaxy as well, which is like a huge boost. So here's the first thing. They didn't decide to just like release them separately and charge each one $60, which was definitely a possibility. I'm not even gonna lie. That was entirely in the cards. They didn't do that. I appreciate that. I'm actually really excited for these games. I've already pre-ordered mine because I'm a simp for Nintendo. I know who I am. I can't get over it. But all of that aside is that they look really good. They look like really good ports. They definitely did some things. It looks like they almost remastered some of the graphics and all that stuff. Looks like they've, especially for Galaxy, it looks like they've revamped stuff so it's not necessarily very motion controls based. It will still be very motion controls based. You can't get away from that. But at least you can play it without. I'm very happy about that. Thank you. Thank you, Nintendo. With all of that being said, Nintendo has done some really weird things that are almost inexcusable. And I'm kind of frustrated with that, actually. And you guys are going to be frustrated too. Yay! If you haven't heard, this is going to be rough. Nintendo is releasing this game for only, I believe everyone's been saying the magic word has been 4 months. They have a 4-month window in which they're releasing this very exclusive game. And it is really jarring. I don't really understand this because here's the thing. So in economics, you have a saying supply and demand. And the idea behind supply and demand is if you have a bunch of supply and a bunch of demand, obviously you would go together, you'd make a lot of money. If you have but you can also price that because of the demand at a price that you would want. But because you have a large supply, you can blah, 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 blah. The idea behind what Nintendo is doing, and which I think is really sly, is that they are on purposely limiting the supply. Remember back in the day when Grand Theft Auto 5 first came out, like 50 years ago. And I remember when the game stores were still a thing. I am old, apparently. So the game stores were still a thing, and you would have to wait in line. I wasn't allowed to because I wasn't old enough, and my parents wouldn't buy that for me. But I remember driving by a GameStop at some point and looking out the window and thinking, wow, there's a lot of people in line. And the idea was that, like, there was only so many physical copies in the world. There wasn't a lot of anything else. And there wasn't really this digital download kind of thing. There was, but there wasn't. You know, like it was still, people were still getting used to it. Like physical copies were still a big thing. I might be thinking of Grand Theft Auto 4 now that I'm saying it out loud. Or San Andreas, or I didn't play Grand Theft. I wasn't allowed to. My parents said no. all of that to say is that, like, there used to be like this huge, demand for a game, and then there was a limited supply. So with digital copies now, a limited supply literally doesn't exist. As long as they have the hardware for it, they can just digitally get it. There's no need for a lack of supply, which is a good thing for the consumer, unless you do something sly in which you say, I'm doing a 4-month limited run. So a lot of people are kind of freaking out. I'm super Dutch. Like, Dutch runs through my veins. We say, Da Santa Clausje instead of, Santa Claus. I don't know. The Dutch people, they tend to be frugal. That's what my Oma told me. If it's not true, then Oma, what's going on? Where are my Christmas presents? Sorry. I usually don't pre-order anything. I usually wait. I'm a waiting kind of guy. I wait for deals. I wait for all this kind of stuff. I did pre-order this because of the limited run, because I want it at some point of time, and I knew that it's not going to go below that threshold of $60. So what does this mean? It's really kind of a crummy deal, because if you wanted the physical copy, which I did, I knew I wasn't going to get the physical copy because there's a limited run. I knew in my heart that I wasn't going to be active enough. I don't have enough time to be like on Amazon every single day just checking. I don't. A lot of people are looking at this as a collector's item, and I totally get that. And I think it probably will be a collector's item, which means that it's probably going to go up in price. And so you've created this weird feeling of, I want to be actively involved in getting this game, but it's such a weird disconnect. And no one likes this. As if it wasn't a limited run, it would be fine. Like, it wouldn't hurt any sales. They're already going to be this kind of $60 shenanigans. The people who wanted it were already going to buy it. It's kind of incentivizing people who are like me, who are a little bit on the fence and kind of stuff, to get in there right away. And it's a really crummy deal. But in all honesty, all of that being said, yada yada, the game looks really good. It looks like they did a solid job. I'm not disappointed that I spent my money on it, even though I haven't got it yet. I was probably already going to purchase it just because of Sunshine. I love that game. And just revisiting Galaxy and 64. Story time with me. I used to Twitch stream quite a bit, and during one of those Twitch streams, we played 64 because it was a follower's one of his favorite games, and so we streamed that, and he was teaching me how to do the speedrun tactics. And so for 64, I have never really beat the game. I've never really played the game. I've definitely beat the game. I beat the game in under 3 hours my first time, and that's my whole experience with 64. I'm excited to enjoy 64. And I'm excited not to do the Bugsy clip. That's the bunny's name, right? Bugsy? Bugs Bunny? Mimps! That sounds right. We're gonna call him Bugs. It's a little bunny. So dumb. So I'm excited to play the game. I'm excited for these games, and Nintendo it's kind of the first time I've really seen a blatant choice that this isn't really for the consumer, this is for the company. And it's really odd, and I don't like it. And I'm hopefully it's not a shift in soul with Nintendo, because Nintendo, for me, just as someone looking in, has always been a good guy. So, crossing my fingers. I'm hoping this is a one-time deal. I know that like the 30th anniversary or the 25th anniversary of Zelda is coming up, and I'm really hoping that they're not going to do the same thing with Zelda. Hopefully there was enough backlash with this that it's not going to happen. There's one more thing. A lot of people online are talking about Mario Galaxy 2. Which is fair. It was a Wii game. It still is a Wii game. It exists in our universe. There is another universe where Mario Galaxy 2 was also released with this All-Stars shipment. Guys, this is going to sound really weird, but I was just excited enough just to see Sunshine. I know for a lot of you that you love Galaxy 2. I'm really okay right now, though, in like this world that we got these 3 games that were ported. I'm thankful. Am I disappointed that Galaxy 2 is not on there? Yes, absolutely. It would have been an amazing addition to a game. Am I okay with those three, yes, 100%. Those, by far, I think Galaxy 2 was a little bit of a lesser game than Galaxy, just because of maybe the, it's the hardness of being a sequel, is that you've shown all the cards and how do you add more. All that to say is that I am very happy with the three that we got. I'm excited to see what Nintendo does. By excited, I mean I'm holding my breath. I'm really hoping they don't do this with Zelda. As I'm talking about this, though, they probably will. And here's my prediction, because I want to be ridiculed on the internet. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to do the same thing. They're going to have one 64 game, one GameCube game, and one Wii game, which means it'll probably be, my prediction is that they're going to do Ocarina. I wish they would remake Majora. I love Majora. Majora is one of my favorite games ever created. They're probably going to remake Wind Waker because it already has a remake on Wii U, so it'll probably be an easy thing. If it's not Wind Waker, then Twilight Princess. And if which is the weird, like, it's a GameCube game, but it's also a Wii game, so you could go either way. Those are my predictions. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me in the comments what you guys are wondering. This is getting really weird. Like, this is juicy time. Ooh, yeah. A juicy time. But Nintendo, yeah. Definitely a weird one. Not the right direction. Not the direction we want. But maybe the direction we deserve. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.